EP collab, man. Oakland Vallejo, the Bay Area, stand up. I'm from that town. She from Vallejo. Said let's collab. She said okay. We all should play. Hot potato. Whoever got the hottest vibe. Challenge accepted. It's me. I'm the best. Like creative players on hunters, no less. The lines in your forehead just told me you stress it. Got G-O-D on me side. Ooh, he blessed me. All these lies they tell it's a vaccine. They're acting it's so bad like it's wrestling. Keep my circle so small it's insane. If you hate to cut then you're part of my team. Just like blowing that plank off strikes don't cut her. Attracted to the mind but I like my hooder. She gotta have a pretty face too.
Hey y'all, welcome to the channel. I love the way you jumped. Love you, James. I really do. Never change. Never change.
I won't, I promise.
Welcome, James, from Watch Your Mouth Reviews. I have hashtagged him. I hope you guys are too. We are here to go over the Housewives of Beverly Hills. He's sick. That's how you know he's done this, okay? He is used to being in the spotlight. Go buy his book, y'all. I'm halfway through reading Fraternity Row again next to me.
How are you liking reading it again?
I feel like I like it more than the first time. The first time I was reading like 3 books at the same time I was reading this one. I feel like when you're reading one book at a time, it's a different experience, if that makes sense. But now because this book done come with me to work, look at it. It's all, I know. I should have bought the hardback. But
well, I'm glad that you were enjoying the read. Anybody who has read my book says they enjoy it and they love how different it is.
It is different.
Yes, there is a part 2. Actually, there's 6 volumes of that book that she was holding, y'all.
Yes.
I am trying to get part 2 out. It is so expensive to do, and money's just not in my favor right now. So when it is, I'm going to get all of them out.
Listen, my next big tax return, because I'm going to want to know what happens with the rest. And I need to find, there's another book, and I have bought it, and I moved, and I don't know where it is, so I'm going to buy it again. Because it's still on Amazon, right?
All my books are on, yeah.
Okay.
Reach Your New Home, yeah, it's definitely on.
I love the smell of books. Anywho, sorry, I'm being weird. Anywho, y'all, welcome to the channel. My friend's an author. Buy his book if you like to read. I like to read a lot, always have, so it works out. Anywho, we are here to go over Housewives of Beverly Hills, season 13, episode 15, because they won't fucking end it. The episode is titled Ashing It Out. I'm gonna laugh a lot through this episode. Naya says that's really cool about the books. Isn't it cool? Isn't it cool? He had a dream and he always talked about it for like years, and he actually did it. I was so happy to hear he just went for it. I just loved it. She said, I love how the books feel. They're not weird. Books, if you've been in a bookstore.
You're not weird, no. There is a certain smell that is kind of like soothing when it comes to books. So no, you're not weird at all.
And nostalgic, because they don't have bookstores like that no more. So I love to, unless you're at school and they're charging you $400 for a fucking book. But anywho, we're going to get into the episode, you guys. Sutton is crying because she is in Spain. The ladies are there so that she can dump the ashes of her friend Merce. Merce in the purse.
Erica is so wrong for this.
It was funny as hell, though. I'm genuinely thinking of making a shirt that says Merce in the purse and wearing it, but I don't like that lady, so I don't know. She's crying because she says that it's symbolic, dumping these ashes of a larger part of her life. She felt bad for losing her father's ashes, so she held on to these a little bit. She also says that if they represent a time when she had, you know, her husband, everything, it sounds like, was good in her life at that time, times that she was growing, learning herself as a person. So I understand why it was symbolic. I actually was happy to see Kyle support her too through her emotions. Kyle, though I won't say I can't stand Kyle. Kyle, just over the years, if you watch season 1 to now, you've seen the bullshit. But one thing I can say about Kyle is when people are upset, she does try to support them and is usually empathetic. So I give Kyle that. There, I've said something positive about the bitch. Look at me.
I ain't on that. I'm not on that train yet. We'll probably get to my stop soon.
He said, we'll get there soon. Well, I tried. They arrive in, I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it Siege? I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's spelled Sitges. That's what my subtitles say.
I don't know either. I forgot. Someone said it on the episode. I just couldn't remember how they said it. That's why I was like,
I can't either. And I rewinded it and look at that shit. Went to work and forgot. That's how much my job likes to beat me up. But the ladies arrived in Spain and their city that they're in. This is where I guess Merce wants to be spread. Sutton gives a speech explaining how this ash release is deeper for her. She says she loves the ladies. And I really think that she does, because they probably in some ways are helping her to get over some loneliness, as well as it's probably been a fun experience for her. She don't have to be on the show. She's there because she wants to be, not because she needs the check.
Yeah, she's the richest one of them all. So
yes.
I just want to tell them, like, and then she keeps getting richer because this lady gets $300,000 a month in spousal support.
She's also getting child support.
She got $1.5 million in cash.
She's also invested well. She said her store is profitable, which is a big deal. I know people were like, man, that's bougie. It's a big deal to have a profitable store in California, one, but to have one that survived the pandemic,
two, and the fact that it's in Beverly Hills of all places, where you have all of those stores competing, like Rodeo Drive, for example.
Kyle's store couldn't make it.
Yeah. Just
Naya, I'm gonna need you to sit in the corner. Merce in the purse, bless the castmates. He did. He did bless them, because let me tell you this: Merce had his girl back, because when she released them ashes, that shit flew over her and Trevor and straight into the women. I'm trying to tell you, I don't know why Garcelle got it. I don't know, but listen, they got. I thought that was funny. I'm like, it's ashes. Like, if this is not a human body anymore, it's just dust. No,
sorry, I was Garcelle in this scene.
She didn't even do that much. She's like, it's everywhere, but she didn't do the most.
I wouldn't have did the most, but I'm like, y'all, it's all over me. It's all, get it off. Wait, I gotta go home and take a shower. Merce gonna be in the drain because there's no way.
Lord jeez. Oh Lord, my husband texted me. Sorry, I got distracted. Moving it along. They released the ashes, and then they continued the ceremony by all choosing to let go of something. And I decided to take notes on this, which I normally would just be like, they all let go of something and went well, woo woo. Garcelle let go of feeling lonely, which is something she experiences and has been accused of in times. And I appreciated her for being forthright and talking about it. Crystal let go of her brother. I'm sure that he appreciates it. And anybody, when Garcelle said he was in her mouth, she giggled. Listen, Merce is in my mouth. That was funny, though, the fact that the ashes, because with Sutton, things are going to be a little quirky, and it was just perfect. It just went with it. But Garcelle lets go of feeling lonely. Crystal lets go of her brother. Thank you, Jesus. Please let this man go so that he can live in his truth and then come present it to you guys. Go watch my previous recaps. James knows. That's why he smiled. And each episode, I start to feel more and more what you say, James, about that.
I'm telling you, follow him on IG. Y'all, I know what I'm looking at. I know exactly what I'm looking at. And now when you put context, because we ain't seen Crystal Mama yet. We haven't seen Crystal's mama yet, but Crystal being overbearing like she is, and probably the mama not going to be as approving as she is, I guarantee you that is why this man has not come out. Because I know what I'm looking at. I know exactly.
I also have a friend, Jacqueline, shout out to you, who is first generation Chinese American. And she watches this show and she was like, girl, I know you can't say that on your live, but in her culture, she said, like, over there, not here. That's still not something that's okay to be publicly everywhere. So that is probably why, because a lot of their parents, especially first generation, like Crystal and her brother, will take those ideologies and values and put them on their kids. So.
And always drag some poor woman along. I hope this woman don't have no kids, and because I'm telling you, because once them parents kabooped, that's when he's gonna be himself. And and there's nothing worse than a 60-year-old man finally living his truth, wasting all those fucking years.
Yeah, wasting the years of a woman too. Like when you don't live in your truth and you choose to go and date people who are in their truth, you are impacting their life and adding trauma you have, and that's not.
Mhm.
Moving it along, Annemarie didn't let go of anything. She just said she wants to work on her happiness with her husband and kids and stuff, which proved to me more of why she's not a good housewife. Bitch can't even answer a simple question. It's a miracle she passed the test.
She should say, I want to let go of my husband calling me 8.5 when I
Yeah.
know I'm a 10.
Annemarie should have said that. You're right. I would want to be attacked
Yes.
by my husband.
Because that is the most insulting thing in the world.
Yeah, I can be a one or hurt, to any other man in the world. I've had men like, you hella ugly, after I declined their phone numbers though. But I've had people not feel I'm the most attractive. I don't care. As long as Anthony Josiah Herbert II likes how I look and what this coochie do, I don't care. That's how I feel. But not everybody is that way. So Annemarie, though, I think of anything, we shouldn't care about people's opinions of us. No. But when it comes to your man or your wife or whatever you with, you should care a little bit.
Yes.
And leave if they don't value you as a 10. It's just how it is. Doris, I hate fucking Doris. I'm starting to really just dislike her. I think the microaggressions this season for me are almost intolerable, and it's just making me strongly dislike her. So I'm just going to remind everybody on the Mrs. Best Reviews channel, we are going to refer to Dorit as Doris on this channel going forward. And if you would like to know why, turn autocorrect on your Android or iPhone cellular device, type in Dorit, and watch that bitch turn into Doris.
And I said I called her Doris because I don't believe her name is Dorit. I believe it is Doris. I believe on her birth certificate it says Doris on there. I promise you.
She says she's Israeli and mixed with Portuguese and all of these things. So I don't know. One day I'll Google where does the name Dorit come from and see if it's an actual name. I just Googled it. Dorit is Greek. And it's a variant of the word Dorothy or Doris. It says this on Google. So James is right. It's not even any culture that her parents align with. So it's very strange.
And honestly, her ethnicity is strange all to begin with. I believe one or the other.
She's a bunch of different types of white. That's what she is. That's what I got from that. That's what I got from that. Moving it along, Doris says that she wants to let go of the PTSD, even though she'll probably never be able to let it go. Bitch, stop talking about your PTSD. We don't care.
PTSD just from what?
Her robbery.
Oh, I forgot that happened. You see?
Here's the thing. It's offensive when Dorit does this. I am a retail manager, have worked in retail for years. This is why I got my degree, and I'm continuing my education. So I went back to retail because when I leave, I want to leave for good, where I don't have to go back. Okay, so I am going to get my master's degree. But what I will say, unfortunately, I have been robbed in retail, like at gunpoint, where gun was to my head twice. This happened to me. And it actually caused PTSD. I got felt up while they take the money. It's like I'm compliant, and they're like, "Oh, you got this, you got ass." I want felt up, all these stuff. Dorit, I got friends who've been robbed in their homes. You talking about PTSD in your gated community that you live in, which makes it even stranger that people were able to rob you. I'm tired of hearing about it. Your husband even said how much of it is PTSD and how much of it is you just being high maintenance. Nobody buys what you're selling, so stop selling it. If you have
I just
PTSD,
feel like, ma'am, I'm starting to be like Camille Grammer. Who takes $10,000 out their purse or out their bank account, put it in their purse to buy some fucking toys when you got an Amex card?
And she did that after being robbed. If I was robbed like that because people thought I was rich, I would be fucking afraid to withdraw money.
Right.
So
it's very strange in Hollywood where they tell you to pay with your card because there is a cash shortage.
There is, especially in California.
And it's in California that you go and withdraw $10,000 goddamn dollars in cash out your bank account to go buy some toys for your kids.
I want to know where the tax.
But you got PTSD though. Where's
the paperwork too for this withdrawal? Because when you withdraw certain amounts from the bank, it flags the government and you'll get a tax form. So I want to know where that is, Doris. I had a friend who worked at Bank of America, was a manager there for years, and had explained that to me. I was like, what the fuck? You just can't trust the we were talking about credit unions versus banks versus cash under the mattress. I know that's a weird lunch date, but those are the things I talk about with my friends.
Yeah.
But she was saying that if she were to withdraw more than $9,999, it forces the bank legally to flag the IRS. It doesn't mean that you'll get in trouble if they contact you, but you have to fill out like a tax thing so that they know that you've taken out that amount of cash. And I know it to be true because when my mother bought her home just 2 years ago, she needed a $17,000 down payment for the home. She withdrew it and brought it to the place in cash, and she got a tax paperwork. That was it. So I just want to see your documents to prove that you did that, Dorit. That's all. Moving it along, Erica then brings up all the pain the ladies have caused her and says she wants to let go of her anger and her old life. We're not letting go of your old life, Erica, until these victims have been compensated, their families, because the victims died in the plane crash. And your husband didn't give their family their money. And you are still legally married to him. So until you are legally divorced, ain't nobody letting go of your old life wage. We're not doing it.
Yeah, well, sure. Look, you almost maybe want to go investigate the PG&E cases too.
The PG&E cases are fucked up and we're still suffering. And I can attest that I am being charged more because of that, the San Bruno explosions, to this day. I'll pull a PG&E bill right now. They show it's like a special like excise tax, they call it.
Right.
To cover them paying back their bankruptcy when people died when that shit exploded in San Bruno. If y'all don't know, look it up. Tom was a part of multiple cases with PG&E. There's the one that was made into a movie, and then there's the one I just spoke of that was more recent that a lot of people outside of Cali don't know about. That man tore this state apart. The attorney system in California now because of him is a fucking joke, in my opinion.
No, I believe the Aaron Brockovich people got their money. I believe that because he wasn't the head on it. Ed Mazary was. But
one of them was on a recent Hulu documentary when all the stuff came out about Erica. Still waiting on his proper payment.
From Aaron Brockovich?
Yes, there are still some people who did not get paid. It's really bad. Like, it's bad. Was that Ronald something, who was the attorney that was working against him, was like spilling everything out, and Kempire was reporting on it. It's bad. And if you go watch the documentaries on Hulu on Tom Girardi, if you Google it, if you just talk to a family member or, look into it, Erica, there's no way she could not have known, allegedly. Okay? There's no way. Yeah. So that's all I'll say on that. Erica, that's what you have to do. And I'm glad Garcelle said it. Like, people just wanted to see some compassion, some empathy. Why is that so hard? That's not admitting fault. But it is what it is. Who's next? Kyle says she wants to let go of how she handles things and says that when she is ready to share about her marriage, she will. Are you trying to make us wait? I don't care anymore, Kyle. Kyle's taking so long to discuss his fucking marriage. We're 15 episodes in. We don't care.
I feel like, and like I said, I feel like this shit has been going on since maybe season 10 of this show. I feel like you and him was bullshitting, and y'all can't bullshit no more. Which leads me to believe that he has met somebody new that he can't let go of. Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly. Mm. But I feel like I feel like he's met somebody he doesn't want to let go of.
He's also been seen in tabloids spending time with someone. I'm not going to say who, because I ain't trying to have too many strikes on my channel, but with someone. It is, we'll discuss Kyle and them more because there's a lot that comes with that. Crystal then apologizes to Erica later down the line. She says she's sorry that she contributed to Erica's pain. And Erica respects the fact that Crystal apologized. I'm so sorry I left this comment up here. Nia Green says she agreed with PK about Dorit being, high maintenance and it not being. Her own husband don't think she had PTSD. And that in itself was enough for me. Yeah. Nia also says she loves a good documentary. That's pretty much all I watch. People think I'm boring. I'm not watching, Baddies or
No, I don't watch that shit either, but I don't watch documentaries. And the only reason why I know Tom Girardi about the PG&E because we grew up in California. That was in our U.S. classes. What was it? We took in senior year. I forgot, but
It was something where they made us watch that movie.
Yeah, they made us watch that movie, and then they also, because at that time the San Bruno cases, not San Bruno, but there was another PG&E case that we had during high school.
PG&E's always fucking up.
Yeah, PG&E. By the time I was maybe 27, PG&E had like maybe over 30 cases open against them.
And there's still, because the wildfires that happen in California, PG&E refuses to trim the trees of the land that's on theirs. That's what caused it. So now we're paying. There's so many excess taxes on my bill. It makes me mad. And then for those who aren't sure, like, just go with somebody else. If you're in the Bay Area, we don't have anybody else.
You don't have anybody else.
I'm forced to have
only LA has. I forgot what the other company was called. It was the
They have another one. LA has two now.
Yeah, they have two now. Yep.
Yeah, but there was another one. I never remember the names, but they have options.
Mm-hmm.
And
Barry
now
ain't got no options. Yeah.
Those options have made it up to the valley. Like now, if you're in Tracy, Stockton, you got an option. But yes, we need options here because the Bay Area just sucks. Like we're just now getting AT&T fiber, and Comcast sucks out here. Anyhow, that was a side note. But yeah, Erica appreciates Crystal's apology,
which I wouldn't have given her, by the way. Crystal, you're better than me. I wouldn't have gave her shit.
I think Crystal just did that because I think Crystal does have some type of empathy, but she doesn't deserve that shit. You need to make it right.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, but she doesn't. What empathy do I need to have with you? Getting some earrings, trying to get some earrings back.
Especially
that should be going.
The way she was with Crystal specifically.
Yeah.
Vile. But okay.
Like if Crystal, you lucky you got that kind of crystal, because if you had another type of crystal, they would have thumped you in your forehead for raising up in their face like that.
Yeah, now
Crystal was better. Yeah, Crystal was better than me, because ain't no way in hell you could have got in my face and said that shit like that.
Yeah, yeah. I always say this about Erica. I want to send her to the Housewives of Atlanta or Potomac or even New Jersey. I want to send her, or Miami, send her to another cast where they would handle her ass, because the way she was talking to them. Audubon, you better get the fuck out of my face before you catch another lawsuit, bitch. That's all she had to say. And it could have been done right there. But it is what it is. I guess it's good they made peace. So while in a car, they're in a bus or going somewhere, they're discussing husbands. I'm not going to go over every single thing that happened there, just what was relevant. And Sutton says, when talking about, let's check the comment real fast before I get into that. Nia Green says, Erica still has the nerve to throw side comments as if she's the wrong part. Thank you. That part. Nobody has done Erica wrong. The only person who's done Erica wrong is Tom Girardi. And it looks like Erica was fine until everything came out about the case. So
I was about to say that wasn't even him doing her wrong, because as I mentioned, I feel like she had some knowledge of this.
She absolutely had knowledge of it.
There's no way you could be married to a man for 20 years, all these cases, and you mean to tell me you didn't have not one link of knowledge? But I know that would be crazy for her to admit on national TV. So I get why she's not saying anything. But come on.
It's even easier to lie about it, though. That's what I don't like. Just say, for legal reasons, I can't comment, but she insists on lying about shit. And that's what annoys the shit out of me about Erica. You weren't wrong, and I agree with James. I think she knew. And if we look at last season and the season before that, Erica had told these ladies she was going to get a divorce before anything came out about Tom. I'm pretty sure he gave her some type of warning. That's just how I feel. But moving along, in the car ride, they're discussing husbands and signing paperwork and stuff like that. And Sutton says that she won't sign anything without reading it first, which I can absolutely, agree with. Nia Green says Erica benefited, so why get her hands dirty? Exactly. These ladies discuss signing stuff. I don't know. The only reason I'm bringing this up is to see how you feel, James. Kyle says that she'll sign whatever Mauricio gives her hands her, and that he handles everything, pays the bills, handles all the stuff. If he's doing all of that, then why don't you work less and go run after your man? But I don't know. But Kyle says she signs everything. Do you think that if you are married, not you people pretending to be married, not you people who, call someone your husband who's just, something else. If you are actually legally married, do you think that you should just sign whatever, or do you think you should read what you sign?
You should read what you sign.
Yes, I think the same thing. I talk to my husband about everything. I trust him, but anything I sign, I'm reading, and period.
That's common sense. Like,
Yes.
and there's something about Kyle that I don't believe that she does that. I don't believe she just signs her name on the dotted
She
line
had fame before
without
him.
reading.
She
Yeah,
should be
so
shamed
yeah,
for this.
I just feel like that she's lying. I feel like she's lying. Kyle is a sober fool. How is she in the industry of contracts and don't read nothing? That's what I'm saying. Like, that doesn't make sense to be her of all people.
Sober
Erica,
fool.
I could believe. Crystal, I could believe does not read before she signs. And who else? And Doris. I believe Doris does not read before she signs. Hell, I think with any contract, because all of the business deals that we have seen fail between her getting here and now. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's something about you not reading all the contracts, and so that's crazy. And I think that's why Sutton has the level of success that she has, because she does take the
Oh,
time to read everything.
but
And
Sutton also helped her husband come up, probably was learning with him as he was learning.
mhm.
Uh, so I think it's different. And I think that's similar to my situation with my spouse. I've been with him basically, we've grown up together, been together. So we've learned together. And so when you're doing that, you're both reading things. And I think it just became second nature to read something before signing it. Um, I'm just cracking up. She said Kyle is a sober fool. Kyle, yes, she is. She is.
She's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I can't with her.
One
I
minute
just
it's
can't.
Mauricio handles everything, and the next minute, when I'm ready to talk about my marriage, I will. Bitch, boo, bye. That's how I feel. Nia Green says at least hire somebody to do it for you. Rich bitch. Shit, you know. Yeah, even then, I've always been keen on like getting training because it seems like we hear too many stories of the people hired going and doing
Yeah,
something
like
crazy.
for me, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I think Kathy Hilton reads everything she signs.
Yes, yes.
Like, I'm just being real with y'all. I don't think Rick handles all the business. I think anything that requires her signature, she reads. Because he
Mhm.
could be taking her to the damn cleaners all that goddamn money. So I'm sorry. There's no way. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, read what you sign. That's what everybody on this channel agrees with. Just because you read something don't mean you're not in love. To be in love, but don't be foolish. That's the best advice I'll give. The ladies go to a restaurant. Their tour guide takes them, and when saying their favorite parts of the trip, Erica says that this has been a better trip experience for her overall versus last year. And Anne-Marie's dumbass asked Erica what she meant by that. Or Anne-Marie asked Erica what she meant by the statement she made when releasing things into the water. And what I don't like that Anne-Marie does is, and she did this with Sutton too, and now she's doing it with Erica, and Erica made a face like, bitch, I ain't Sutton. And Anne-Marie, you say out loud, I know I wasn't there for this and did not know any of you then. But as soon as you said, I know I wasn't there for this and did not know any of you, shut the fuck up because you weren't there for it. It has nothing to do with you. And you did not know these women well enough to comment. Unless you're going to fix your black ass to get on YouTube like me and my friend are doing to comment on what you see on the episode, there is no reason for you to be talking about and asking questions about shit that has nothing to do with you. Why didn't you have those questions for Sutton? Instead, you just went straight for her, Anne-Marie. I am not giving Anne-Marie any grace. I think the worst thing you could do is someone working in medicine. I don't care if you're the janitor at the hospital or the CNA. The worst thing you could do is make any type of accusation, diagnosis, or say that a diagnosis is not real or anything like that about someone's health. Talk about her hair, talk about her outfit, how, quirky she is, but don't talk about her fucking health. You're not a doctor. I know you work right next to him and it makes you think that you are one, but you're not a doctor. You are the nurse. Your job is to support the doctor in his job or her job. So I need Anne-Marie to stop making nurses and doctors look bad. And please shut the fuck up. Because every time this lady opens her mouth, I get irritated. And this episode didn't really give us anything. It was more so about feelings, emotions, ending the trip. But then Anne-Marie fixed herself to open her fucking mouth. And I was just like, why do you care? I just don't understand. But Erica does explain that she feels more relaxed in the group and that she's learning to trust them again. If anything, people should not trust you because you kept all these secrets about your marriage.
I'm just saying the irony that she said that. I was like, oh, okay, wow, that's
why I can go see Erica perform. Well, I could. Her residency is over, but I could see her perform for $6. Moving it along, Sutton makes a toast to Erica, and Sutton throws shade and brings up Erica not inviting everyone to her residency the way she did for Kyle, where she came in an outfit and all of this stuff. And it says in her confessional, she said, you know, when I was growing up and I had my birthday parties, my mama told me, you can't just invite your friends. You got to invite the whole class because the worst thing you could do is make somebody feel left out. I said, Sutton, this ain't the South. And I know Erica's from the South, but Erica ain't got no sense. Please, you can't expect her to do this. And why do you want to be somewhere you're not invited to or wanted? Why, Sutton? Why?
I love her for that too, but I kind of agree with Mrs. Best here because I feel like, look, I ain't gonna be no place I ain't wanted. And second of all, I wouldn't want to go to her show anyway because I'd be too scared she might kick her stiletto and it hit me in the forehead. So I ain't finna be
James. You time out, James.
I'm just saying.
Stiletto. This is still a 50-plus-year-old woman up there dancing. Like she fall the wrong way.
Yeah, I don't want that shit hitting me. So no, that's okay. I ain't got to come to your shit.
I do love Sutton for her statement because I do remember hearing that. My grandmother and my family, they're from New Orleans and Mississippi, and I heard that my whole life growing up. I didn't get birthday parties growing up because I grew up Muslim, fun fact. But when I would go to my friends' parties or my cousins from the South, they'd be like, mom made me invite the whole class. I don't even like this girl, my cousin's this person, but it's the only way I can have a party. So I got what her mom was teaching her, and I think that's why Sutton is the way that she is in terms of how she carries herself compared to someone.
It made that comment for me, that one she made to Crystal about how her daughter had the Chinese girl and the African American girl and, you know, and all this redhead girl in the jacuzzi saying this is how it's supposed to be. That comment right there made that moment seem like, oh, okay, so you're just an all-inclusive person. You really weren't trying to be pointing out the racially obvious. You were just trying to be all-inclusive. That makes more sense to me now. And I kind of felt like that's what she was doing.
Yeah,
but just the terms, you have to be careful with how you say stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. But that made it more real for me of why that statement was made.
Yeah, I think with Sutton, a lot of what we're seeing as we continue to watch her on the show is showing us like some of the things we misunderstood. Now they're starting to become clearer.
Yes.
I can see clearly now.
You're so crazy.
I know, the song is in my head. Anywho, I must have seen it on a commercial or something. I don't know why the fuck that came to my head. Y'all know I'm not writing ahead. I got 20 personalities. I'm a Gemini. Bear with me. Erica makes it clear that everyone is invited instead of going off on Sutton, which I was glad about. But I think Erica has learned, though you may not feel too much from Sutton, she won't take her foot off your neck if you come for her, and her fans will keep our foot on your neck, Erica.
Absolutely, because I would love a day for Sutton to lend me $250,000 just so I can have some cushion when I get divorced.
Mm-hmm. That's a good way to explain it, Naya. Sutton went from strange to strong.
And you know what's crazy? I never thought she was strange. And this is wrong for me because I used to not like Sutton. Not her first season. I loved her first season when she was a friend of the show. I didn't like her second season where her and Crystal got on the show as diamond holders. That's when I didn't like her. Yeah. I didn't think she was strange. I thought I was looking at the lady from Rosewood with Ving Rhames and
I'm done with you, Jay.
No, I thought I was looking at that white lady. That's who I thought I was looking at with the same personality. I thought that's what I was going to see. And as the season progressed, she started to show that. It wasn't until she turned the tables, and when this shit with Erica happened, and she had all them receipts, I said, oh, my favorite right there. I said yes, because if ain't no, y'all all were, because everybody was scared of Erica. Everybody was scared, and they went around her and everything. Suddenly said, fuck all that. He got burn victims here. What's wrong? What's up with that? I need to know. I'm affiliated with you through this show. What is going on? And that's when I started to love her. I say, yep, that's because nobody was doing that. And it was so weird to me. It was like, y'all
I
need to
think
be
that's
asking
what
her
got a lot
questions.
of people to like Erica because the rest of these bitches cowered like poodles. But Sutton did. She called her husband, and you see that even though they're not together, when you with someone that long, he obviously respects the fact that she got his kids because his attorney and her, they was all talking. So that showed me, like, on this cast who really got something to lose and who, don't.
Yeah.
Because the way Sutton handled that with Erica was smart. And honestly, everyone on the cast should have done that because by them even affiliating with her for the things that she's accused of, they didn't know if people was going to receive it well or if they was going to be put the fuck out. I'm going to ask some questions if y'all want. I love that Diane do. She just do. Lord, but Erica does invite everybody to her show. She makes it clear. Back in the States, because they're no longer in Spain. We see them back in the States. And now, from what I got, just from the beginning of the scene, I was like, oh, now the next few episodes are going to be the Kyle thing. Because if you're a true fan, you saw that they were filming. They picked up filming after the season had ended prior. It was supposed to end in Spain. But then they picked back up and filming because of everything that dropped with Kyle and Mauricio. So Doris drops by Kyle's house and asks about Mauricio and Kyle. Kyle says that Mauricio has joined her therapy and she is a terrible therapist. It's very interesting that the therapist calls himself a therapist and a life coach because though they're similar, they're very different in the science behind them. So I've been side-eyeing the therapist. James knows this. He knows. I can't wait till I get my licensure too, so I could really come for these fucked up therapists on TV. But I'm gonna wait till I get my license. But she says it's still not going well, even though Mo has joined her in therapy. Basically, I'm just gonna summarize it because I'm trying to go, eat. Time is a problem in their relationship. There's not enough time for each other. Kyle said verbatim, "We both work too much." But at the same time, she seemed jealous of the agency. She said, that's his child. He worked with this. So if something goes wrong, he's like involved. The same things that Kyle is complaining about, I don't think she realizes are the very things that are making his company successful because they have a CEO that's involved and, wants to be a part of it, gets out there, sells houses, all that. She wants to feel like a priority. She doesn't feel like the family's a priority anymore from what she said. And she wants him to put the same effort he puts into his company, into the marriage, which is fair. When she explained how she was feeling, it may be like, okay, maybe it's not fake. Usually when a man, though, is more invested in that, like other stuff, I think what James is saying is right. There's probably somebody else who's around him all the time in the agency who's probably making it to where he's less interested in Kyle. The other thing is, it's got to be hard to be with an attention whore for so long. It's also got to be hard to be with somebody who hardly pay you any attention, has to have the spotlight, but her whole family blames you says that your company was started by stealing from Rick Hilton. There's all sorts of drama. So I think now that their kids are older, they're probably having time to reflect. And this is a psychological fact and a statistical fact. Right. People with kids have it harder when it comes to staying together. That's why people say you shouldn't have kids when you're not married. For me, it has nothing to do with religious values and beliefs. It has to do with the fact that when you have kids, you lessen statistically your chance of your relationship surviving by 87%. That's a big fucking percentage. So it sounds like that's what's happening with Mauricio and Kyle. I don't want to say too much on it because they didn't really give us much from this conversation, but I absolutely feel like Doris is the wrong person to talk to about it. I feel like you need to talk to somebody with a man that's doing business that's not fraudulent or constantly failing. And Doris doesn't have that husband. She needs to go talk to Sutton. Even though Sutton is divorced, she dated a man.
Sutton will be busy. But Iyanla Van Zandt say this as well. Always look at the people in your life that you can mirror. Sutton is the representation of what life can be if you choose the divorce route.
Yes, that's true.
And you see her having to rebuild her life. We're all witnessing it. We see that she did help her husband build his business the same way Kyle helped her husband build his business in more ways than one. And we see how There are moments where she's going to cry. There's moments that Sutton has laughed. There's moments that Sutton was confused. So I would mirror that because I know that being married around the same time that Sutton was married to her husband, all these years, I could see my life ending up like that. So this is what you need to do. You need to reevaluate the businesses. You need to reevaluate, because I think they only have one baby at home now. I think you need to reevaluate how this is going to affect her if you guys decide to pull the plug now, which in real time we know they are. And also you need to understand to be your authentic self and not this pretentious image that you just want to just showcase to everybody, because we don't believe this Morgan bullshit. I don't believe it. Nobody. Even though I did say in the last video that I feel that people can love beyond gender. I do believe that. But at the same time, when you have somebody who's pretentious, it doesn't come off authentic. I don't believe she's authentically into this woman the way she's presenting it. I think she's just trying to keep this check, which, ma'am, you've been getting this check for 13 years. We're done with it. Get off this show.
Please.
And go find you.
Because, Kyle, you're holding back your show by staying on in some ways. But I definitely agree with you. With everything you said. Dorit I think also Dorit and PK have not even been together close to long enough that Kyle and Mauricio have. Sutton was with her man for over 2 decades. So I feel like there's just a lot and then Dorit also just gives the things, you talk to a friend and they just say the things that you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Like, well, y'all gonna be all right. I'm sure you make it through. That's kind of how Doris was responding. I think it's important to actually hear your friends when they're talking to you about things that are impactful and tell them, the truth, but also let them know that if you don't choose, to do what you want them to do, you're still going to support them. But tell them the truth, please. Nia Green says Kyle is like a teenager rebelling. Yes, we have been thought that. It's pathetic and stupid, Kyle. Like, if you want to leave this man, but you're losing fans by, like James said, not really talking to us about it, rebelling, getting tattoos,
or not putting it in a way, because when you get on reality TV, you have a responsibility to be authentically you. And I don't think that this is really authentically you. I think that this is you trying to put on a facade because you think this is what the people are going to like. And I think a lot of this has to do with you trying to clean up that image from that limo scene. I really do. I feel like you've been trying to clean that up for so many years, but every year it gets worse and worse and worse, because that is who you really are.
If
that lady that was
the seasons of Housewives of Beverly Hills, from the first season when that happened with the limo, everyone saw a change in Kyle when she came back. I mean, they brought it up at the damn reunion. I think that woke her up and reminded her, oh shit, I'm on TV. And ever since then, we haven't had a real Kyle, but we're tired of Kyle.
No, but yeah, that's why I said Kyle was in that. That's the real Kyle that was in that limo. I don't care what anyone tells me. That ugliness that I saw with her and her sister, that is who she really is. And I feel like I would have respected her more if she was that way, especially around these ladies, because that's authentically who she is, versus whatever she's trying to pull up in her face now. I do believe she's caring. I'm not saying that I don't believe I do believe that she has a care spirit. I do believe that she will be there for any one of these ladies. That's do believe problem, that.
Though. I feel like she will be there for friends more than she'll be there for her family outside.
Right, exactly. And I think same thing. And I think that there's trauma there that she's not acknowledging. And it could be from Kathy, it could be from Kim, could be from Big Kathy.
All I know is Kathy and Kim, they don't seem to have issues. Everybody else gets along. It seems like Kyle is the odd one out. That happens with a lot of families, but in terms of her family, I hope she works that through. In terms of her marriage, I really don't care. And I want Mauricio and Kyle to both be happy. I want their children to be okay. But
I agree.
Either don't talk about your marriage at all, but Kyle's been on here so long, she really doesn't have the option. So talk about it or leave the show. It's time. But that is all for this episode of the Housewives of Beverly Hills. Not much happened on this episode, but I mean, it was still fun to talk about. Condolences to Sutton. You probably won't watch this, but if you ever somehow come across it, condolences to you and your father, as well as Merce. Condolences to Kyle on her friend Lorraine. Condolences to anybody who's lost someone. It's terrible to lose people. But we will be back next week I'm
Mhm.
wrangling my job in order so that they stop scheduling me when I'm supposed to do recaps. But we are figuring it out. Other than that,
We
everybody
are.
have the best night. The information to James's channel is in the description of the video. Thank you, Naya, for your positivity and ongoing support. It really does mean the world. She said,
Absolutely. You're most welcome, and I'm glad that you were able to laugh because we try to keep this light and funny, even though there's a lot of seriousness going on in these shows. But yes, thank you for having me once again. I cannot wait to see you guys on my channel next Tuesday. We will be doing Real Housewives of Potomac, Real Housewives of, Married to Medicine. And I may throw in another little update video, especially because I just got some news about Whitney Rose that I need to look into. So
Really?
we'll see.
Oh,
I do.
well,
So we'll see what happens with that next week. Until then, guys, thank you for having me, Mrs. Best. I appreciate it.
bye-bye.